Hey, what's up everybody? Bush Baby here, and today's a little bit of a different video. I'm not recording, well, I'm not doing this commentary as I'm recording it. This is kind of an idle commentary. Now, a little bit of backstory, you can see that we're at the vault and our tank just decides to leave, as tanks will do. This place is kind of notorious for being one of those places people think is really difficult, and for the most part, it's really not. If a party knows what they're doing, it's not that hard. If a party communicates well together, it's not that hard. But I guess this tank didn't want to take chances, especially since there was a new person in the party. In fact, I think the healer may have had an ult because they kind of knew what they were doing, but the ninja was 100% new. Well, there's usually only two things that happen when there's a new person in the party. When you end up at the vault, really, when situations like this happen and the tank decides to abandon, you either wait around for a tank or you vote to abandon. This party, well, we decided to do neither. We just decided to move on. So, this is going to be just kind of an idle commentary thing. I want to comment on a few things that kind of happened here and, just put this video up because this was a really great memory. This was a lot of fun. If this was a thing that you could do, just in general, I would suggest actually going in and trying your luck with this yourself. Unfortunately, I think the only thing you could do is, go in with a pre-formed party and have the tank drop. I don't think this would have happened, this would have been possible, if I hadn't been a summoner. Little bit of a fair warning for any summoner players out there who are actually really good. I am not. I'm just learning. I'm like level 59 right now. I went into leveling roulette to try to get to level 60. This is the place that I ended up in. But I'm not very good. I'll admit that right now. I'm not very practiced. I just came back from a 3-week vacation from the game. So, Final Fantasy 15 had taken up a lot of my time. Stardew Valley, Minecraft, a bunch of other stuff. So, plus our subscription had run out, whatever. We're not here to talk about that, but this is going to be the only trash mobs you're really going to see me keep in here. This is like a 20-minute video, but we had less than 30 minutes left on the dungeon by the time we left. But I kind of kept this in here to show you this is the amount of difficulty we had with any of the trash mobs. We really didn't have all that much. The real difficulty came with the actual bosses. But, like I said, I just kind of left this in here, and if anything could be said, we actually didn't wipe on any of the trash mobs, so hey, thumbs up for us. Before we move on to the actual boss fight, because I see it approaching, I really just want to give a shout out to the players who stuck around. Ariel, I believe their name is Ariel Ace, and Nausicaa Highwind. Really great attitude. Absolutely love you guys. I wish you guys were on my server. If you're not, anyway, I haven't checked yet. But if you guys were, I would love to be able to partner up with you. And the tank's name says a lot about them. Salty? Absolutely. I hope that one day he comes across this video and sees what happened here and realizes what an absolute little pussy bitch he was for running off. Anyway, first boss fight comes up. Sitting there, getting ready. Actually, we don't have all that much trouble with it. I'm keeping the whole thing intact. I can understand people would probably just want to skip to the end. I'm really happy with the way these boss fights came out. And I know that I've been talking for 3 minutes now. I'm not going to talk for the whole time, but I just kind of want to get some things out of the way. But I'm really happy the way these boss fights came out, so the ones that we actually completed, I actually am leaving them in their entirety. Maybe with the first bit cut out, because a lot of these have pre-boss transformations, kind of like this guy. When you beat him down to less than midway, he transforms into a whole new boss. And that happens with the second boss, so I cut out that pre-transformation because obviously, you don't need to see us beat down the first one. But anyway, like I was saying, I want to apologize to anybody who actually plays Summoner as main and is looking at the way that I'm doing this and thinking, holy crap, she is just the worst Summoner player ever. Trust me, I understand that I absolutely am right now. Any tips and pointers that anybody might have for people who main Summoner, I would absolutely love to hear them. I'm having a lot of trouble just kind of getting used to the class, but I really like it. I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. I am going to pop up here and there with maybe a little bit more commentary, but for right now, just enjoy the rest of the fight. So here, easy peasy, we managed to beat him, and it was around this point that I decided that maybe I should start actually recording this. Anybody who plays on PlayStation 4 and does the share feature knows that it records like 15 minutes in the background, and pretty much just progressively 15 minutes. I managed to catch the beginning with no problem, so that's why I had that first part. Anyway, here, when I apologized for my shitty behavior as a summoner, this is why. I got stuck in this weird loop where I couldn't stop switching back to the pet hotbar, no matter how many times I tried, until I finally just stood there for a second, but, you know, I'm really bad at it. Anyway, we got to like 50-something% before it just kind of fell apart, but the ninja was new, and we didn't explain anything to him, so unfortunately that was partially like my bad on, you know, I should have explained things, was not the best move on my part, but this is our second attempt. We got a little bit further this time. As you can see, healer died, the ninja is dead. I used a swift cast on the healer to try and get them back up, but my Eggy died. And pretty much once the Eggy's dead, that's it. Like, I didn't have swift cast to re-summon Titan, and the healer didn't have enough MP to, yeah, the healer had just res, so the healer didn't have enough MP to really keep things going, so this was bound to fail as soon as Eggy died. But, you know, this is a learning process, and without a tank, it's made even more difficult. Third time's the charm, or so they say. I've gone ahead and just skipped ahead to the transformation part because, well, like I said in the beginning, you don't really need to see us beat that part down again. This one went a lot better. I'm really happy with this, so I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to shut up, let the rest of the fight play out, and I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it. and we're back at 4%. Like I said, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, spoiler alert, we win. But here we go. He just died, and what a fantastic fight that was. Like, my heart was pounding, and I know that that seems silly because it's a video game, but like, this was legitimately one of the most fun and challenging experiences I've had with like this kind of content. So obviously we're going into the very last fight now. Things start off okay, but well, you know how things go. We did take some time to tell the ninja what was going on, like what to expect, but here you see that I ended up dying. I got caught with a couple of different things. That was my bad. I wasn't really paying attention, which sucks because he was at 6%. Keep in mind, this was our first try. This was... It was such a good first try. Like, it was an amazing first try. Most full parties that I'm in don't get this far on the first try. And as you can see, I'm just kind of kiting him around, hoping that my tiny little ruin spells are going to hurt him. Not going to happen. This is from our second attempt. Again, kind of not a good start. We didn't make it quite as far this time. It sucks. The healer took a lot of, like, blame for themselves. I didn't blame them at all. Like, it's already difficult without a tank being here. So, there's really no blame to be cast, you know? Eggy can only do so much, and with a summoner that doesn't know what the hell they're doing with the summoner class, I just went in here expecting that it was going to be a fairly simple run. You know, standard by the book, get in, get out, that sort of thing. That was the only reason I come in here as classes that I don't know, is because I'm trying to learn them. But then when the tank goes and abandons because they're a little bitch and they don't want to, you know, be patient with people, well, only so much can happen. So, believe this was our third try on this one. It's going really well. And I'm just going to leave the rest of the video, or at least the rest of this fight. I'll be back at the end, kind of give you some closing notes. Hope you enjoy.
Sickness must be purged. And now the final cut.
Okay, so I know I said, like, not even a few minutes ago that I was just going to leave the rest of this until the end without any commentary, but can I just say how amazingly proud I am of the fact that these guys were able to help me DPS these things down and actually make the DPS check. Like, we were a 3-person party, of course, with Titan, but Titan, again, can only do so much. And almost consistently, every time we got to this DPS check, we cleared it without a problem. A lot of parties that I've been in, full parties with decent, supposedly decent DPSers, big gung-ho tanks, we can barely clear these DPS checks. I've even failed multiple times these DPS checks with parties of, like, mentors and stuff. But we're 3 people and we managed to get them all the way down to 1 orb, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not necessarily so much the people that say that they're amazing, but the people who actually put in the effort to be amazing. And these guys definitely help put in the effort to be amazing. We cleared these DPS checks without a problem. We never failed on the DPS checks. All of our problems came from, like, coordination issues and stuff like that. As you can see, actually, right here, here's another coordination issue. The healer was following me around with the burning chain connected to both of us, and I don't think that they realized what was happening. I was trying to run away from them, they were trying to chase me. So, you know, those are the kind of coordination issues I'm talking about. But as you can see here, I'm actually trying to kind of float the Eggy with my tiny little minuscule heals, because I wanted to give the healer some free reign to get the rest of the party kind of healed up. I know that there's a lot more that I could have been doing on DPS, by the way. Like, this whole fight, as I watch it, I realize I never cast Shadow Flare once, which annoys me because I always try to make a point of like swift cast Shadow Flare, but I think part of me was worried that if I swift cast, oh, here's the part where the tank or the healer was kind of following me around too. If I swift cast anything, I was going to be SOL if it came to having to revive one of the party members. But part of me was actually starting to worry we wouldn't be able to clear this just because of the sheer amount of damage the tank Eggy was taking. But I mean, we managed to keep him. Like when I would keep sustain on him, and the healer was able to turn their attention back to him. You know, I don't want to assume gender here, but when they were able to turn their attention back to the tank Eggy to make sure that they stayed alive, like we really managed to pull this through. And here, of course, something unfortunate happened, but thankfully I was pretty quick on the res. I swift cast res the ninja, which just goes to show you exactly what I was talking about, that there's always a reason for me to kind of keep that swift cast back. This is pretty much the reason. And the healer was real good about getting right on him to heal him back up. I'm really in love with this party. Like, I love the fact that this worked out as well as it did, because not only does this make a great video, but this just makes a great memory. Like, this was the ninja's very first run through here, so this has got to have been a great kind of first run to ever have. Like, imagine having that as your first run, and there we go. Like, we actually beat him. We beat this whole thing without like a legitimate tank, because I don't really consider the tank Eggy much of a legitimate tank in story kind of things, especially in a place like this. But hey, we pulled it off, and I couldn't be happier about this. Like, I couldn't have been happier for these guys. And this is the reason why I think we need to be able to commend multiple people, because I wanted to commend them both. I really did. But I went ahead and I gave it to the healer, because without the healer, we wouldn't have made it through anyway. So, that's that. Like, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed doing it. If you want to see more stuff like this, just let me know. I'll post up some more if I have it. If you want to see more in general, please subscribe to the channel. Give this a like. Share this around. Really helps us. Thank you for watching. Remember, Bush Baby loves you.